Well, hello there, and thanks for joining me on the first trial of the new series. It is springtime, and we'll be driving a car from the 80s in B class. And the fact that it is B class also gives the name to this week's co-op championship, as it is aptly named the B Team. Clearly inspired by a television show from the 80s, which explains why we're limited to cars from that period. Smart, a very smart name giving indeed. Well done, turn 10. Now, I did not use the GMC Vandura. Maybe I should have, as I did have a lot of trouble finding a suitable car for this event. I tried the Abarth Fiat 131. Did not work. Tried the Renault 5 Turbo Forza Edition. Did not work. Tried the Lancia 037 Stradale from 1982. Now this one did work. And for the first race, the city outskirts cross country, I'll be starting in pole. Lucky me. A small advantage over my teammates that I might need in this let's go plowing through the fields and backyards in the middle of the British Empire type of race. Off we go, and by avoiding most of the drivatars in my run towards the first corner, it seems that I momentarily have the lead. But then it becomes obvious that a couple of teammates are on the inside and actually ahead of me. While I'm having some trouble keeping my car under control, I get passed by a drivatar as well. Jumps seem to be dangerous and even corners can be tricky. I do need to be careful with my car if I want to survive this race. Now this next jump goes well for me, but one of the teammates is having a slight issue as his car is turning to the right in the left-hand corner. That is something you generally want to avoid. The corner was a bit more troublesome as it felt like I was sliding down one of those water slides on my belly. I blame the mud in that corner for this behavior, as now my car feels more stable in these corners. This allows me to gain one more position as I get to pass the drivatar. This surface also seems to generate some friction, giving me more grip, something I desperately need. The drivatar pokes his nose alongside, but somehow got stuck on that ramp, I believe. On the minimap he stood completely still. The blue team member also made some kind of mistake as he went way off the well-trodden path and tried to find his own way. Most likely that's a reset for him. He does remain in second place, which is of course nice as that keeps our score nice and high. And we happily keep plowing through these fields. We get to harvest some grain crops, we get to mow the lawn, and well, we even get to play some soccer as I go crashing through the goal on my way to the finish line. We are heading towards the last corner, a very sharp one, and I do not want to make a mistake just before the finish line. So I take it nice and easy, and all of this allows me to finish in first place. The misfortune that befell my teammate did cost him a couple of positions in the end, and he only ends in fourth place. We have a 50-point lead because I finished in first place. Let's hope we do not lose any other positions. And, well, it seems we do. But things shift back in our favor. So, in the end, we do get the race victory by a very narrow lead of 50 points. A job well done. And we harvest our first championship point. That means we only require one more. Will the next race already give us the championship victory? As I mentioned in the intro, the next race is a road race. Did people choose their cars for cross-country? Will our cars be well suited for a road race? I'm not even sure how my car will handle this all-road race event. But we will soon find out as we head towards the Edinburgh City Sprint. And once more, Forza seems to favor me as I get to start, well, not in pole, but on the front row. This race takes place inside the city of Edinburgh, and features some sharp corners, but also some longer straights. Both handling and acceleration and top speed are thus important. We get off the line, and again it all boils down to avoiding the driver tars. I managed that pretty well, but the wall in the first corner was a bit too much. I decided to leave my spoiler there as a memory of my visit to the beautiful city of Edinburgh. It did cost me a piece of my car, but that allowed me to gain second place. Not a bad trade, as there is no real downside to this. And in the next corner, I even get first place without having to trade in a piece of my car, so that's even a better deal. Now, looking at the leaderboard, it seems we all have pretty decent cars for this event. And in the meantime, I am able to slowly but surely increase my lead on the others. Looking back, this becomes even more obvious. So, time to talk about the tune. It is called, just like the trial itself, the B Team, and is created by Skingnet. Speed is 6.2, handling 6.3, acceleration 6.7, launch a whopping 7.6, and the braking scores a nice 6.2. All of this is not too shabby for a B-class car. As you could already see during the cross-country event, it does require some careful driving in certain areas, which will also apply on the dirt section of the last race. But on road it performs really well. The 90-degree corners go smoothly with this tune when driven properly, something I did not do in all of them, as I missed at least the braking point in one of them. Apart from that, a rather smooth race, which I enjoyed thoroughly. But it might be somewhat boring to watch, as there is not a lot of competition and thus not a lot going on. That's a major difference between fun in doing something and fun when watching something. So I just blabber on, hoping to keep all of you entertained while I try to stay ahead of the pack in this race we are racing. And blowing my own horn for a short period of time, I think I did a fairly good job of that up until now. The corner we are heading towards can be taken with an alternative racing line. If you go in faster, then you can go onto the pedestrian path or cycle path or whatever. But in this B-class car there is no need for this. But with the higher tiered cars, this is actually a valid strategy. Now it would be fun if that one driver car would crash, as that would mean we could then score all points. How nice would that be? I finish in first place. Now let's see if that one driver car drops back. And he does. Already one place so far. Let's see if he drops down even further. And let's see. Oh no, he does not. Unfortunately, he does not. They take 300 points so far, and well, to be honest, it does not look like it was a close call either. We lose some more positions and they gain some more points. Still a very nice score. Over 3,000 points for us, while they get a mere 500 points. This secures our second victory point. We win the co-op championship for sure. Da, 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 da. Last race, honor only. Da, 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 da. We've been here so many times before. Third race, dirt race. Can I score another hat-trick? I did so a few weeks ago, and I would like to be able to do that again. I do feel my car can handle it, but the big question is, can I handle it? When the race announced itself as being the Hollywood Park Thrill, I could hardly be happier. This is a race that I used to test B-class cars on when they were added to the online roster, so I know it pretty well. I do start in the middle of the pack, and the start can be quite tricky when one needs to weave through the pack, but I do feel fairly confident. I'm smelling another victory. And I start by bump drafting a Porsche. But then I get shoved into the wall by the driver, which causes me to lose my spoiler once again. I'm not the only one who got acquainted with the wall, and that allows me to pass a lot of driver cars. I'm up in 4th place, 2 team members and 1 driver car in front. As we go head towards the dirt section that almost immediately starts off with a hairpin turn. I take the inside line, which allows me to pass all 3 leaders. The second hairpin, we all get messy anywhere we go late. Back to 3rd place. We all take quite different racing lines on this section, and I'm not really able to sneak past them. And 3 abreast in this section is not really a good idea, and it causes one of the others to show off his donut skills. He grinds his rear end against the wall. And then the one in front is getting away from me, like I'm standing still. Not sure where he manages to get his power from. Most likely he has an infinity gauntlet attached to his exhaust. Wherever it comes from, it for sure does not come from the same place as his handling. Maybe he thinks this race needs more dirt sections and as such decides to try it out. I hope it is not a race over for him, but for sure it means I'm now in the lead. I went slowly through that corner as I know it can be treacherous, heading towards the 90-degree corner, which can also be tricky, but in B-class cars it becomes a bit easier to manage. And then we come to the fun part of this race. I really like the upcoming fast sweeping left-handers from the right side, over the road to the apex, back to the right side, hit the next apex and end up on the right side of the road again. If done correctly, this is very satisfying. And I shifted way too early to 5th gear, so my run on this straight was not as fast as it could have been. But it seems that I have enough of a lead to not cause me too much grievance. This corner too can be very fun or very annoying. It all depends if the car can handle it and if you manage to get it right. My run was clean. Now the next corner can be taken flat out depending on the handling of both the car and the driver. And then we head towards the finish line with a very comfortable lead. Another hat trick. I finish in 1st place once more, and that is 3 in a row. I defended my honor like a knight would defend that of the young maiden that he loves so much, but will be out of reach for him for the remainder of his poor life. Things on the leaderboard remain exactly the same. No more shifts in position, so well, we have more than enough points, so not only my, but also the honor of the entire team is well defended in this 3rd race of the trial. That means, of course, that we get to collect a 3rd championship point, making us the victorious team. We are championship winners for the B team, and that gets us the fantastic Renault 5 Turbo Forza Edition, so I can finally add a 3rd one to my collection. I always wanted a 3rd one. 2 of these just seem so lacking. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you leave a comment. I hope you press the like button. I hope you subscribe to my channel. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. I hope you watch one of my other videos if you have not yet seen it. And I hope to see you in my next video.